My pirate hat isn't on. This is spur of the moment. Do you mind? Hey, stop that. I like my shorts. It's a dumbass bitch doing dumbass shit. Since I talked about the Legend verse, and I'm kind of really getting into making these videos, this one's probably going to be shorter. But, I guess I'll kind of be talking about Cinder, because I want to talk about the fact that everything that I do related to Spyro nowadays, and Cinder especially, I always do with this thought and feeling in the back of my head that someday it could be useful. I basically have to talk over loud cicada. I basically want, it's like it would be my dream to direct like a full-fledged trilogy movie series of Spyro, or reinvent the games. I don't know. There's just a lot I would want to do, a lot of things I'd want to change, a lot of things I want to make more solid or official or make more sense, fix the loopholes. And that's why I'm constantly working on and improving my headcanon and little bits of it. Like, today, I woke up and kind of thought about the Eternal Night and the pirate fleet, which everybody dreads, and for good reason. I mean, it's a tough course. The arena part is really the hardest part, and then you get to the fleet. And I started thinking about the part on the burning boat. Well, when Falmouth Arena was burning, and since it's a platformer / combatant game, you technically have to fight and run. But so I get the point of it. Why you run after Cinder got taken by the apes, Spyro runs inside, and there's all these dog pirates, and he has to fight them. And I got to thinking, I'm like, with a ship burning down out of the sky, I'm going to imagine that in a more realistic scenario, as realistic as you can get in a game where there is a flying airship with dog pirates and a magic dragon, that they would be trying to fend for themselves. You know, they'd be running to get off the boat, be like, okay, fuck the dragon, we gotta go. We gotta go. So I think that would be their priority. I don't think Spyro would have to be worrying about that. And, you know, he's probably running through, trying to find somewhere to get out, and then he runs through the hall where all those doors, do you remember the level? In that level, that part in the level where all the doors are shaking, because it sounds like there's prisoners or something banging to get out. Which always kind of haunted me, and I always tried to open the door. I was like, oh, should I open these doors? You can't. I was like, alrighty then. So I imagine, you know, he frees them, and he frees Moliere, and he frees the Manware Smalls. And then he actually is about ready to leave. And then he's like, hey, hang on. We can't go. And Sparks is like, why? And Spyro says, well, I need to know how to get to the White Isle. I don't know how to get there. And Sparks is like, okay, yeah, but so why do we have to stay here to figure that out? And Sparks is like, Spyro's like, we're on a pirate ship. And Spyro's like, oh, maps. So, that's when they start flying around trying to figure out where a map could be, and there's a bit of a challenge there. And again, the dogs really wouldn't be a problem, I wouldn't think. You know, I would almost see loose animals being more of a problem than the dogs, because the dogs are trying to get away. And then let's talk about when he fights Scab. I do imagine there is a weird bug, and it is confused. I haven't totally worked that out yet. I feel like Scab and the brothers, Scratch and Sniff, who I call fishlings, I know that they come into the room and they accuse Spyro of causing all that damage, and Spyro says, well, you brought it upon yourselves. I remember how I thought of it. They come in, but they don't have Scab, I think. No, that's later. I can't get my thoughts together. The point is, this is a work in progress. They do confront Spyro, but they don't fight. He just wants the map, you know, and later, after he gets to look at some of it, and then the room starts falling apart and burning, and he knows Sparks is going to die if that's the case, they leave. And they start flying off. And Sparks, for some reason, is bent on... No. I'm not making sense in this video, but I'm thinking out loud. I'm definitely going to write all this down, so you will be able to read it at some point. But, they will eventually find out that Scratch and Sniff showed up without Scab, as opposed to Spyro killing him. Because it's pointless, and Spyro doesn't need that burden. It's just a pointless fight. Imagine Scratch and Sniff show up, and they're like, where's your bodyguard, you know? And they explain that they ditched him. And so he's most likely, you know, he's probably on the Felmuth ship, and is probably going to die. So, which actually breaks Spyro's heart. And then, you know, Sniff starts ranting about, oh, we can take this fool, and then that's when Sparks punches him, and Scratch carries Sniff off, and then Spyro and Sparks leave. So there's just things I want to elaborate on. And everything that I do, and everything that I think about, in trying to correct the Legendverse. The Legendverse specifically. When it comes to reignited stuff, I know I'm never going to have a hand in that, sadly. And it's like, it's a long shot thinking I could ever be a part of the Legend franchise and get to do anything important with it or special or get to remake it in my image. But even if I just got to have a part in designing the characters and helping design the animals and stuff like that, I don't know, that would be fun. Like, you know, 30, 40, 50 years from now, something like that could happen. I'm never going to stop loving this franchise. And Spyro's been around for 20 years, so why wouldn't it be around in another 20 years? And there'll probably be all kinds of new Spyros by then, and crazy mods, and maybe the Legendverse will be revamped by then. And there's a huge possibility that I won't like it. And I'll still want to do it my way, or God forbid a movie come out. The idea of anybody else, I'm so anal, the idea of anybody else making a movie or new games makes me so nervous. And I just want to be able to do that. So that's honestly my biggest dream ever, is to be in charge of some important shit, storyboarding, dialogue, you know, working with a team of people to make Legend of Spyro more appealing, and just the way it could be, and bringing it to full potential. Because as a game, you know, it's alright, but the story has so much going for it. And Cinder has so much going for her, and for the record, in Felmuth, when she gets kidnapped by the apes, she's gonna put up one hell of a fight, alright? It's not just gonna be like they swooped in and picked her little fat self up and carried her off, and she was like, help! No. She fights those bitches. That they're just faster and stronger and smarter and know what to anticipate. So, those are my thoughts. The video's not too much shorter, and I rambled a lot. But I hope that it was a little bit insightful, what's going on in my mind, and maybe in the next video I will actually talk a little about Cinder and her lore. So, thank you for watching, and see you guys later.